us a little bit about what brought you to be doing what you're doing now. What was your journey? What was your call to adventure?
Ah, well, I've always had a kind of a magical touch with making things happen. I started my journey as a coach back in 96 working with movie stars and producers and writers and actually they would start as really talented people with no credits and against the odds within weeks or months. One of my actresses booked a primetime TV series. A writer who was a just a housewife from Maryland also got a primetime TV series. I just would work intuitively, and a first time director sold his first film for $500,000, which was a lot of money back in '96. And
Yeah.
so I really gained a reputation very, very quickly. My clients would call me magical, and I would get results. Then I decided to get training after I'd already been coaching for, I think, 4 years. So I got a bunch of certifications and I was taking classes in business and marketing. And I was always really, really good with language and marketing. And the only thing that I really sucked at, and I really, and it's, I'm not, by the way, I'm not implying in any way that I'm like perfect at this other stuff, but there's just one area that I think I really like stuck my claim as the worst, and that was when it was about money and getting paid and living in Los Angeles, which is one of the most expensive cities in the world. And back in 2002, I was making $100 a month. And this is with a half dozen certifications and a bunch of celebrity clients and mountains of testimonials and the website and the brochure and the tagline and all of it and the millionaire mindset and the vision board and the affirmations and just being such a hard worker, such a good student, doing everything I was told, working with coaches, flying out of town every month to take new trainings and learn new stuff. And big deal, I was still struggling to make $100 a month, and it was really painful and hopeless and devastating and puzzling and frightening. And my great coaches couldn't figure out what was going on. So not only was I not making money, but I was taking all these great classes and spending all this money on these great classes that weren't working for me because something was going on the inside. It was like I had superhuman powers to repel money that nothing I did consciously or did well could even come close to my powers to push money away, even though consciously I wanted it, like we all do, because I wanted to be able to live with a roof over my head and clothing and food. So it was a real dark night of the soul. And I remember specifically, I had just taken another class. And this one was on overcoming sales objections, where they give you scripts for what to say when people say, oh, I would love to, but I can't afford to, or I don't have the time, or whatever excuse people come up with to say no. And I was such a good student. I mastered it. 7 people in a row said they would hire me, and none of them showed up and none of them paid.
Wow.
And that was when I ran out of hope. And I was so distraught and so disappointed and so enraged, heartbroken, angry at myself, angry at the world and the universe and all of it, angry that so many people had promised, if you do this, you'll get these results, and I would do it and I would do it well, and I still wasn't getting the results, and I just ran out of hope. And I remember being in my bedroom and in my little 1-bedroom apartment and dragging clothes, the drapes blacking out the room, getting on my bed, lying down and just screaming in despair and hurt and really just wanting to die.
Wow. I can begin to imagine. You've been doing everything. You've been such a great student. You were accomplishing great results with your clients. You were doing everything by the book. I cannot imagine the frustration of doing everything right and not getting this one result for yourself. money so you
Mhm.
can live
Yeah.
and serve and have the roof over your head. My
Well,
goodness.
and what I've really come to believe coming out the other side, and I'll share the story and how I turned it around um, dramatically and very quickly. Uh, but I've really come to believe because since then, I have coached thousands of people through my process. You know, I'm heading off to Bali and, oh,
Yeah.
cat's jumping off my lap. Heading off to Bali in 2 weeks to lead yet another money goddess retreat. And the last one I did in May, by the sixth day, the last day, one of my women was putting together a 7-figure deal. And then 2 days later, met this beautiful guy and went on a 6-week biking date throughout Indonesia. And the two problems she presented, because she was like me, she was just hitting her money ceiling, doing well, but hitting that ceiling no matter what she
Yeah.
did, and the love ceiling. And by the way, there's a deep connection between the two. But what my core life philosophy is if you're doing everything you can do in pursuit of your goal with everything you have, just trying and doing what you're told and keeping going, and you are not getting the results that you desire and need. I deeply believe, based on really honestly coaching thousands of people over the last 2 decades, you are protecting yourself from what you want. And it's not your fault, and you're not bad. It's unconscious, and you always have really good reasons to protect yourself. So you're not a loser, and you're not a failure. In fact, you are very, very successful at protecting yourself from a perceived threat. So the first step is to find out what exactly you're protecting yourself from, and it's never what you think it is.
It's never what you think it is.
Never what you think it is. If you knew what it was, you would just fix it like that.
Right.
So we
How
need,
did you find that out for yourself when
well,
you were
I was
having that dark
lucky.
night of the soul?
I was I was lucky because I was already in such a bad place.
You were lucky.
And so I was ready for change. Yeah,
Yeah.
take off your law of attraction hat for this exercise. You can have it back at the end. But we don't punish people for having bad vibrations. Some of the best things in my life happened during the darkest moments. And some of the worst things happen during very light moments. That's just life. It's not that you're being punished, it's that you're being initiated into
Initiated.
your next level. So
Oh, I
here
just
I
want to
was.
pause. This is just so, it just hit me in the core when you said this. You're being initiated into your next level. Can you explain a little bit what you mean?